Hi, my sisters. I hope you guys have had a great day so far. I hope you guys have had a great weekend. I'm so sorry that it took so long to do another video, but um, yeah, I've been working some stuff out. I'm still in the process in my personal life, uh, in my marriage. Uh, it's been a little tough lately, but I mean, I'm staying strong. God is good. He is so faithful and has shown me his love in the midst of this. And so I'm learning more and more how good he is. So I just want to encourage you. I know that we all have our ups and downs, that no matter what, uh, you just continue seeking him, because in seeking him, you will find how much he loves you and how much he cares. Uh, and that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm gonna do until the day I die. So even though we're not faithful at times, he's always faithful. And so stay encouraged and know that you are so loved. And so yeah, in this message here, I wanted to talk about my testimony of my life, and what I'm, I guess, what my life has been, and how God has been everything to me throughout the years. So to start off, my mom raised me and my brother and my sister on her own, and pretty much most of our lives when we were younger. My mom left my dad when I was 5. I'm the eldest, and uh, it was the best decision she could have made. She wasn't married to him, and it's a little more complicated to get into detail, but she found God at around that time, and it was like the perfect timing, right? Because my mom was going through so much, and needless to say, we lost a father in a way, but we gained our real father. So even though my dad, I know he loved us, it was I guess very hard for him to, I guess, be a father. So God, being the good father and good God that he is, stepped in, and he took that role and loved us and put people in our paths. And my mom started going to a church, um, and we were just so blessed by so many people. Our pastor at the time, Pastor Alvarez, was a beautiful soul that just loved on us and corrected us in a loving way, and everybody was such a blessing. Sister Dora, and yeah, so I mean, throughout, I hit the teenage years, was always a rebellious kid, and I'm still kind of hard-headed, but I guess in a way I've used it for good, and at times I've used it for not too many good things. But as stubborn as I am, God has been faithful and has shown me that I can use that for good things too. So I became a teenager, and my mom had married for the first time, and my stepdad wasn't my first stepdad wasn't the best father figure, unfortunately. But and it created a lot of more rebellion in me, because I felt like my mom, which is not true, felt like she neglected us, but it wasn't that. It was just she was having a hard time with him and trying to be a mom, and it just became really tough for her, you know, and in that I took advantage, I guess, in my ignorance, and started hanging around with the wrong crowd and smoking pot and you know, just being boy crazy. And so yeah, so that's in a nutshell, you know, just bad kid, you know, did ditch school, you know, was rebellious and disrespectful to my mom, but God was so good. Just out of all that stuff that I put my mom through, he remained faithful, and at the age of 15, for the first time, I gave my life to God, and I met Jesus, and it was the best thing that I could ever have done in my life. I found true love, and my life has never been the same. He has stuck with me through thick and thin. I married at the age, I came out pregnant at the age of 17, married at that age, and tried to do the right thing and thought I was in love. He was a non-believer, and it wasn't gonna work. I mean, I tried, I prayed, and I tried to be a good wife, and but being so young, you know, you're so at times ignorant of life, and so 6 years later, I divorced him. I started dating, and it was looking for, I guess, attention and more love, because you're young, you know, and you got it going on, so you think like, okay, well, you know, I can find myself a man, you know, and it just doesn't work that way. I mean, you can find a man, but it's not going to be the right man. So I went back to my husband, my and I became pregnant of my third baby, and tried to work it out, and it didn't work. Then I got married. I dated a few more guys, looking for a father, a husband that would, you know, fill that space that I thought I needed, and went through heartaches and put myself through that, you know. I used to blame these guys, you know, like, oh, these guys are no good, you know. Maybe some of them were not, but you know, we're all trying to find love and trying to fill that void that only God can fill. So fast forward, I guess in other videos that I make, I'll give you a little more of my life, but I'm kind of skipping through some stuff because, I mean, come on, I'm 40 years old. It's hard to give you all my life in a nutshell, but I will give you more advice, or, you know, examples of how God has been with me throughout my life. So I fast forward, met my husband Steven on eHarmony. I know, an online website. I had been on it for a few years, and on and off, and the first time we talked was just like, we talked for a long time, and I found the best qualities, the good qualities in him. So I thought, man, this could be, you know, I think this is a good potential, you know. He has more of a foundation, and you know, he was there, he was committed, and unfortunately we didn't go about things right, so we, you know, got married quick. We were pregnant before we got married, and, you know, being a single mom to teenagers, and him having a preteen daughter, and being newlyweds and pregnant, and both having really uh, a strong character. Just was like a ticking bomb waiting to explode, and it did, unfortunately. So in the midst of all that, we went through some stuff, and unfortunately, I my kids end up going with their dad. In the midst of that, I just was hurt, and that caused even more friction in our marriage. So, you know, then came along my baby boy, Stefan, and then, yeah, I had Elijah, and now fast forward, 5 years in March, we've been married, and it's improved. Our marriage has been, we've had our really good times, and we've had our really bad times. And right now we're in the state of, okay, maybe we need some time apart, and just trust God, and seek God, and just wait on God, and to help us in, well, with ourselves, have that one-on-one time with God. And so, I mean, now I could say, I don't understand. There's things that in life you won't understand. You do all you can do, at times, and it's just like it's not getting you anywhere. But there's a reason why God says, to do good, and don't grow weary. And that's what I'm doing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I haven't been the best wife at times, and I know that God is helping me through that, and has put people in my midst to help me with that. But yeah, I mean, no matter what, I'm striving, and I'm fighting for my marriage. It might not be the way my husband would want, but I am, and I'm really seeking God in this, and wisdom and guidance. So yeah, I mean, even though we go through things, don't stop being the light. Continue loving people. Today I went to church with my mom, and I felt so heavy. I felt so much burden and heartache, and as soon as the worship service started, it was like God met me there. He met me there. And not that He hasn't been with me, but it was just, wow, like, God, thank you so much for being so good and faithful to me. So, the pastor preached, and it was, even my mom said, man, I could feel Him. I could feel God. Don't get me wrong, sometimes we don't feel Him, especially in our hard times, but He's always there. And just stay encouraged. He's faithful. He's not like man. He is faithful. Man fails, but God doesn't. So yeah, I think maybe I'm going a little too long, but I just want to say, I love you guys. Stay strong, seek God, fall in love with Him, fall in love with people. Do your best to please God and no one else. He's the only one you should be pleasing and growing strong with. and everything else will fall in place. So yeah, have a great day, rest of your day, and I hope you guys have a great week. And I pray that you are encouraged, and if you need any prayer or encouragement, I'm always here. And if you have any insight or whatever you want to talk about, feel free to message me, and I will be happy to be here for you and pray together. So yeah, God bless you, and God bless your family and everything you do, and I'll see you later. Bye.